We're back here on the platform this evening, and we are talking about the Ministry of Tourism, and not only the Ministry of Tourism, but tourism in general in our country, and how it has fared over the last 50 years of its development. And at the break, David Johnson, we were talking about quality. If you talk to some visitors in terms of visitor satisfaction, you would get varying points of view on the quality of our product. As a former Director General and the Chief Executive Officer now of the Tourism Development Corporation, describe the quality of our product.
Mixed, varied, and there's a great need for us to bring consistency and to lift the level of service up significantly, because we're existing at a point where we appeal to the customer who's most sophisticated due to our high price point. The Bahamas is expensive. We're not cheap. So for that reason alone, we have to have what we call 5-star service throughout most of the Bahamas. We are not there to the level we wish to be across the board. It is very good in some locations, but we have many subpar operations that we must begin to induce to upgrade.
And this is not only in hotels, but this is what it is throughout the industry.
The environment of the vacation.
Industry-wide?
This is industry-wide, the environment of the vacation. When they walk out of the hotel, the type of service they get in the stores or restaurant as they move about. Just the, the destination needs to be manicured. We need to maintain. The grass needs to be freshly cut. Most of our visitors come from places where that's what they see in public places. We have a lot more that we must accomplish in terms of tightening up our maintenance, even in public places, because we're a first-class destination, but often customers come here and question the true quality. It must not be in a hotel. It must be destination-wide. And so that's our biggest challenge and our greatest opportunity, is we're a small country. We can move quickly, but quickly we must.
Have we taken a lot for granted in terms of developing our product or sustaining the product that we have developed?
You know, Wendell, I think the challenge we have is we have a small tax base, and there's a limit to the resources. Many islands or many destinations we compete with have one airport to be concerned with, one landmass. This country is challenged. Our greatest advantage is our diversity, but our biggest challenge is the cost to maintain 20 airports. Every island, there's infrastructure requirement, roads, power, water. So we're replicating these things in so many times with a small population and small tax base. So it means really we need even a greater amount of time. I'm so happy to hear the government announce a national development plan, because we lack the planning. We should have been there 20 years ago. We're paying the price of absence of or poor planning, because we need to sequence this. There's no point in putting a $20 million airport on one island and then fixing the road on another island, and the airport with a $20 million airport doesn't have roads or power. So we need to look at what it takes and, again, properly plan the economic development. Yes, it might be that some of our nationals have to move. We can't do it all at one time in every island. So we need to sequence and say the greatest opportunities, the highest returns, and then blend that in with a social philosophy that our people understand, that they can see what the government is trying to do, and they know that their turn might be in 2 years while this is getting put in place. But I think we are getting there with at least a focus on planning at a national level and involving all the stakeholders in the country. That's a great start.
Let's focus on Nassau, New Providence. Let's talk about what it used to be, what it is now. It used to be a quaint little city, a lot of colonial buildings. The attractions were many for visitors. The quality of goods that were offered in the stores were extremely high. There's been a deterioration on many fronts in terms of what we offer in terms of quality of goods, what we offer in terms of attractions. We've been in serious decline, David Johnson.
Yes, I think in Nassau, just focusing on Nassau, Nassau has transitioned from a quaint colonial historic town and a relatively quaint tourism destination and a capital city to the largest transient passenger cruise destination in the world, over 4.5, almost 5 million cruise passengers. And what has happened is we have allowed that to more visibly drive Nassau. That is, persons here for 7 hours looking to get a quick hit, and we have arranged much of what you see within about 3 miles of our harbor feeds off that type of visitor. That's not sustainable. We need to generate the profit from cruise passengers, but we have to have a destination that even a cruise passenger coming to would say, wow, I want to come back here and stay longer. That means huge investment. It means that we have to almost revamp, take that zone and say, what is the entertainment? Where should it be? We are not competing in Nassau as a destination with the Caribbean. What you have in Nassau to the east and west are resorts that are like Vegas. Okay, these are huge mega resorts that have changed the tourism in Nassau. But to complement that, we must bring great entertainment, and we must get the persons coming on a vacation to Nassau now to see it as a beach vacation close by. Yes, I can have gaming, but there's all these other things that are must-do. We are not creating those must-do other things. They still want a destination experience. So we need the investment in other experiences. Yes, we need an attractive boardwalk, for instance, in Nassau, where you get the feel of being in Europe, taking advantage of being in the outdoors, and you have quaint restaurants, and you can hang out away from the hotels. We need to fill in the middle. What's between Bahama and what's between Atlantis is the real flavor of Nassau. We need to develop that. People are not going to come to Nassau and help us build an economy if we simply open the doors of Bahama and Atlantis to them. We will find more deterioration. We must now breathe life into what's here, and also cause for some of the spend in this country to be spent with others and not just major investors, foreign investors. And we can achieve that. I believe there is a commitment from the discussions I'm involved with to move very aggressively now to make Nassau the central attraction. And you're sleeping on Paradise Island, and you're sleeping and playing at the Bahama. But we have to make Nassau the attraction.
So that will call then for the revitalization, say, of Queen's Staircase, the water tower, places such.
Yes, as also we have a piece of real estate, Fort Charlotte. Its location, the elevation. If we use our imagination, we can put in that area any number of major attractions that speak to entertainment, to sightseeing, enacting tours. It's there. It's in the rough. More so than, yes, the Queen's Staircase is boutique. We can make an art. I see it, art and theater districts, starting with the Queen's Staircase, Fort Spring Castle, going all the way over to Grey Cliff. Okay. It's right here, including the Candy Kitchen, all of that. Bring people here. It's close by. It's walking distance from where there's 5, 6 million visitors coming. Let's get them here, but we need to develop it.
It has been a long time since we have really looked at the attractions in New Providence and Nassau, and a whole lot of people have been calling for better attractions or more attractions. It has taken too long, hasn't it?
No question. I believe that we need to be proactive and not wait. I start about the store we had in those days where we just opened and people came. We need to master plan our future and our destination and find partners to do it with us. We have professionals in the country now. I'm only one. There are many. We have professionals with ideas that our government should embrace and accept the fact that we must make the Bahamas work. No one can do it for us.
David Johnson, in the 50s, 60s, and even a part of the 70s, many visitors came to the Bahamas for entertainment. Musicians played a tremendous role in entertaining our visitors. You go to Cuba, the music of Cuba is extremely important, and it is an important part of the product. We are not engaging our musicians and the music of the Bahamas as we ought. Isn't that right?
I think the setback we've seen, my brother was a musician, and he was independent in that he felt he had an obligation and he had the right. No one should do it for him to make things happen. We need to, no question, create an environment that supports the musicians being able to deliver their product. But the government cannot do everything in a country. And when it comes to creative work, such as entertainment, that is best left to be managed by itself, and with those entrepreneurs doing it, saying to the government specifically what they want or what they need to get it to work. But I think the lead needs to come from the artists and the managers and the entrepreneurs. A great entertainer might be a horrible businessman.
Yes, but the government must create an environment for these people to grow and to thrive.
I think we must provide incentives that attracts more investment by Bahamians who may invest in the entertainment industry and partner with the artists. But we need to stimulate that, the incentives, yes. Have we lagged behind? Of course. A considerable gap from where we were. And I think it's time to not try to replicate what was there. The persons who came in the 1960s are not the people we'll never see again.
Yes, but
so we need to reinvent and develop a newer presentation, but inspire the investment in our policies and what the government offers to induce investors, Bahamian investors, to invest in the entertainment industry.
But in terms of visitor satisfaction, you would admit that Cat and Fiddle, Zanzibar, the Yellow Bird, and Hutch and Wolf Road and all of these places, that they played in the 60s a pivotal role in terms of visitor satisfaction.
They defined the destination. And so you're right. No doubt, an overwhelmingly pivotal role, because they defined the Bahamian personality and the Bahamian experience. They were the characters, they were the images, those were the experiences people walk away from. They said, I know the Bahamas. Yes. And I think we need more of that. The personality of the Bahamas need to be embedded. And that's why when I talk about, you know, we have 2 giant resorts that are much like Vegas on this island, we need to fill it in with the personality of the Bahamas in between. I think that's the opportunity for us, and I think we are up to it. We need to do it.
Yes. When we return on the program, we want to talk, and just let me also mention, there was Dirty Dick's on Bay Street,
Oh, yes.
and the Drum Beat, and Blackbeard's Tavern, and all these places in the 60s
Yes.
that people have written about, and people who are up in age still speak about it.
You know, featured in movies and books, and no question.
Absolutely.
No question.
The cruise industry has changed tourism in the Bahamas. Let's talk about that after this break.